Hi, I'm at TU-Automotive Europe 2016, and today I'm joined by Sebastian Hofelich, CEO of DriveNow. Hi, Sebastian. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning.
I just want to talk about mobilities. Everyone's agenda at the moment is looking at the future of the challenges they could face getting people to ditch their own cars and start sharing cars and have maybe less cars on the road. Is that going to happen easily, quickly, or is this going to be a growth, a slow growth?
At the moment, we are in a very interesting situation because we see, as you said, the mobility market changing very fast. That is driven by different factors. First of all, as I said this morning in my speech, it's very much about urbanization, more and more people moving to the cities, and that gives enormous challenges to the cities. And the second thing is what cities then are doing. They are reacting by enforcing their laws and regulations. And this is a new playing ground, and that will give opportunities for different mobility concepts. We very much believe that car sharing is one of the most promising concepts here. So we see at the moment enormous growth potentials in the mobility market, especially if cities are considering to abandon privately owned cars from the city center.
Why specifically car sharing instead of, say, car clubs, or what makes car sharing, in your eyes, a very good option to go for?
I think car sharing on the one hand side delivers the concept where people are still have the opportunity to take their own mobility needs by their own. So often for some reasons it's not likable that you want to have someone with you in the car. It's like being a little bit private. On the other hand, what we see is that if you're doing that with cars from 2 or 3 brands, which you best occupy, as BMW does, then you are delivering a completely new experience within the car if you're doing car sharing by your own. That cannot be delivered in the same way by car clubs, who are often reliable on a huge number of brands, and where you have far less integration within the car.
And obviously, we assume this is going to be generated by the urban environment mainly. Could it go further than that? Could it actually branch out into more remote areas as well?
I will not say that this is impossible, but at the moment, I think the development starts very much in urban environments, because there is a need, there is a pressure to have alternative solutions in place. If you go into more rural areas, there is not so much going on at the moment, and so it is at the moment everyone focusing on cities.
Sure. And who are the drivers in the urban environment? Are they the people with the demand for these? Are they tend to be the younger population, or with all ages?
I think there are 2 important factors. The one, of course, is the demand side, and that is not that we see a certain customer group which is very specific, but we see at DriveNow that we have a broad range of customers which are using the service. We started very small, very niche, in a group what we called urban hipsters, but we grew very much out of that. We now have the 21-year-old student and the 65-year-old retiree in the case. And it's more like people are thinking about their mobility needs, and they say, if we have free-floating car sharing, if we have public transport, if we have ride sharing, if we have bike sharing in place, it is then possible to get rid of their own car, which is standing around 23 hours a day anyhow. So that is the demand side. On the other side, you have regulators, and here in the cities we see there is a very high interest in things like car sharing, which solves a lot of today's cities' problems that they have, especially the congestion topic, especially the parking pressure topic.
But are these cities going to give car share schemes such as DriveNow the spaces they will need in an urban environment for parking the vehicles? Is this going to be a challenge for some cities?
It is and it is not, because if we are going to the cities in the first step, we are not requesting special dedicated places. We only ask for a understandable, customer understandable parking solution. That means that the customer is able to park almost everywhere where it is allowed to legally park, and not being limited by inhabitant zones, not being limited by special drop-off zones for everyone. So just to make it fairly easy for the customer. We are willing to pay for this, so it's not that we are asking anything for free. What we see together with the cities is that this, without any further incentives, delivers very positive results. And of course, we are now in a discussion with the city in a second step. How can we enforce this development, and how can we build on this? And of course, it makes then sense to have special dedicated car sharing places to even increase on these effects.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.